Do you want a sandwich? You want peanut butter and jelly? Banana? Stop. Oh. Come here. Down. Go. 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 You okay? Okay guys, so let's talk meltdowns. Usually people get meltdowns and tantrums confused, or they think they're the same. The main thing that kind of differentiates a meltdown from a tantrum is meltdowns usually do occur within children, teenagers and adults that have autism, whereas a tantrum is usually seen in kids, toddlers mostly, and that's usually because they want something. So in tantrums, they're throwing this tantrum because they want the piece of candy, and they know if they do this, they're going to get the piece of candy, and then once they get the candy, they stop. As far as a meltdown goes, that's usually the cause of the child being overwhelmed. Their anxiety is basically through the roof. It could be a sensory overload. It could be a deficient sensory input. It could be a number of things, and basically their brain needs to reset. It's overwhelmed. Too many sensory inputs, too many things are going on at once. It could be a change of routine, anything. It could be anything. And especially in a nonverbal child, it is very, very hard to, get those cues. So BJ did have had a meltdown today, and it was because he was hungry. So he's not able currently to tell me that, he's hungry. Of course, his stomach is sending cues to his brain, or sending messages to his brain that he needs to eat. So in order for him to communicate that with me, that's kind of when the meltdown occurs. Now, in the beginning, I guess, or before a meltdown is going to occur, this thing basically is called rumbling, is what the child does, which is what BJ does. So he'll hit himself like this. So I'm like, that should have told me in the beginning, like, okay, he's getting frustrated. Something's wrong. Something's happening. And then the next thing that he does, he would kind of just like make his body real flimsy. So he'll just go like this. So basically, rumbling is like outward signs of distress. They can be subtle or they can be obvious. I would probably suggest for children that are nonverbal, cue cards. They obviously, you do need to go over with them beforehand, practice them. So they're able to show these cue cards when they're getting overwhelmed, when the anxiety is just too much. They need to be removed from the situation. They can show you that cue card. Then oh, okay, something's wrong. Let me fix this, basically. So meltdowns definitely are not easy. I can tell you that they are not easy. Okay, guys, I have to take a little break because somebody came in here. So like I was saying, BJ basically will like super stim when he's going through a meltdown. So when he does do or engage in one of his self-stimming, he this right here, he would just kind of rub it on me. He would rub this part of my arm, that kind of will calm him down. Right?
What?
So that will calm him down. Once he does that, though, I know that he is in distress. Something's going on. So he would do that. And if that does not work, the meltdown continues and it gets like extreme to the extreme. He does engage in aggression, which is basically like self-harm. He kind of just like gently throws himself into the wall, or he would throw himself onto the ground, or he would like hit himself, like hit his stomach. So that is part of his tantrum. Part of his meltdown. He's getting better with that. I do, when I'm, trying to figure out what's causing this, what's overwhelming him, engage him in conversation. So I just say like, are you upset? Are you mad? Are you sad? Give him yes or no question. I would probably suggest cue cards when children are going through a meltdown, verbal or nonverbal. I would suggest those cue cards so you can kind of try and prevent it before it happens. If your child stims, I would make sure that is readily available. If they engage in aggression, I would just make sure they have a space where they can calm down. So when you see that meltdown's coming, take them to that space so they can self-soothe, so they can calm themselves down. If it's in public, we haven't had many meltdowns in public, but the most recent one that we did have was in Target, and I just took him to the restroom. Meltdowns are very common. They are going to happen. They happen. Sometimes this big old brain needs a reset. He needs a reset. It's too much going on, too much that he has to process at once. It's overwhelming. So it happens. It's a learning process still for me. I'm still figuring out, different ways that can calm him down, that actually will work for him. I'm open to things. If you guys know, I'm always willing to give it a try. He's calm now. But yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video on meltdowns. If you guys need any tips or you have any questions on what do I do during a specific meltdown, just feel free to reach out to me. But yes, guys, until next time, say bye. Say bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you later.
See you later. Oh, watch it.